They didn't know this winter would kill most of them. No rescue was coming. No food was left.
The winter of 1836 was not just cold.
Seasoned mountain men, hardened by years of danger, were found frozen in place, claimed not by war. Some winters test men. This one erased them, turning strength into weakness. Hunger followed the cold. Men boiled their own boots, not for strength, but for time. Warmth surrounds you. Safety feels permanent. In the Rocky Mountains, it was a sentence.
There was no rescue coming.
Today, walls separate us from the cold. In 1836, the cold had no bound. In the wilderness, every mile taken was borrowed time. There were no second chances.
Easy to forget how thin the line is between comfort and catastrophe until winter.
September of 1836 arrived quietly. Too quietly.
Frost came weeks too early. Men who knew these mountains felt it immediately.
Winter was ahead of schedule.
Animals knew before men did. They always do. And they were already leaving. This was the last calm they would know for months. The mountains were already closing in.
Winter was coming early.
No one said it out loud, but everyone felt it. This winter was going to be different. And there was no turning back. Each summer, the Green River Ronda was a lifeline. A place to trade, to drink, to remember. There were fewer wagons, fewer men, and fewer supplies than anyone remembered. The fur trade was fading. Back east, fashion had changed. Veteran trappers felt it in their bones. Something bad was coming, and supplies would not be enough. The mountains were already preparing. When the rendezvous ended, men rode back into the mountains with less than they needed, and more risk than they knew. The Crow read signs no map could show. Animals moving early, storms forming too soon. Men like Jim Bridger had survived too much to waste words. When they warned of a bad winter, it was reported like the world was ending. Every sign pointed in the same direction. Winter was coming hard. The warning was simple: prepare or die. No one laughed. They had been warned.
Every mile, the land rose higher. Snow appeared where it should not have been. The cold was already waiting. At first light, the brigade broke camp and turned north. Once they rode on, there would be no easy way back.
The journey had begun.
The cold crept in quietly. No one spoke, but everyone felt it.
It was earlier than expected.
The higher they climbed, the smaller they became. The mountains showed no mercy.
There was no shelter ahead.
Behind them lay lower ground. The valley looked right. Timber for cabins, water nearby, high ground shielding it from the worst winds. It felt safe.
Wood for fire, water for life. Everything a winter camp was supposed to have. On paper, it was perfect. What they didn't see was how tightly the valley closed around them. Winter would seal it shut.
After weeks on the trail, relief clouded judgment. The decision was made quickly.
They would stay here.
Cabins had to go up fast. Every log meant warmth later. Every delay meant danger.
There was no time to waste.
Logs were notched by hand, stacked tight, each wall rising inch by inch. Shelter was taking shape.
Mud and moss sealed the cracks. Holes and bark closed the roof. Every gap meant cold later. The walls closed in. The fireplaces were built just as the cold began to arrive. Winter was close now.
The timing was tight.
The cabins felt solid.
The beaver came easy, too easy. Thick pelts meant animals preparing for something worse.
Easy hunting was never good news.
The Crow warned them. So did the Shoshone. Winter was coming early, harder than usual. They didn't listen.
The valley looked peaceful. The men believed they had time. They were wrong.
The snow did not ease in.
Men rushed to secure what they could. Fires sputtered. Order vanished within minutes.
Plans collapsed.
By nightfall, cabins were buried. Even shelter became a struggle. The storm did not stop. The storms did not pass. They stacked on top of one another, burying the valley deeper each day. There was no clearing. Snow separated the cabins, and with them. At night, the storm never stopped. It only reminded them that it was still there.
The supplies were never meant to last this long. By early winter, the crates were already running thin. They did the math.
Rations were cut quietly. No arguments. Everyone understood what it meant. Hunger became routine.
Every meal became a calculation. Stretch the food or starve sooner.
There were no good choices.
As the snow kept falling, one fear settled in completely. There would not be enough. Starvation had entered the camp.
Hunting parties left the valley at first light. They returned hours later with nothing.
The forest was empty.
Old tracks froze into the snow. No fresh sign. Nothing living nearby. The animals were gone. Hunger stole their strength. Men turned back before the cold could finish the job.
Every step cost more.
They returned empty-handed. No one asked questions. No one needed to. Hope thinned further.
Even scavengers had beaten them to the last scraps. There was nothing left to hunt. The valley was empty.
When the food was gone, men turned to what had once only held things together. Leather became a meal.
Boots were sliced into strips, boiled for hours, chewed until jaws ached. Anything that could soften became food. Candles were eaten for their fat. It sickened them, but hunger was worse. The body protested. No one spoke while eating. No one spoke afterward either.
This was survival now.
Hunger weakened them. But sickness finished what hunger began. Their bodies were failing.
Without fresh food, scurvy crept in, rotting them from the inside. They were being eaten alive.
There was no cure, no medicine, only time, and time was against them.
Some would not last.
They watched sickness move through the cabin, wondering whose body would fail next.
Winter had new ways to kill.
Some men simply went to sleep and never woke again. The fire had gone out.
By morning, the cold had claimed them completely. They were frozen, solid.
There was no burial, only snow to hold them until spring.
The ground was iron.
They did not pray. They did not speak. They built the fire again. Grief had frozen too.
They heard the wolves before they saw them. Night carried the sound farther now.
They were getting closer. By morning, tracks circled the camp. The wolves had found them.
They were being watched.
Fire kept the wolves back. When the flames dipped, they crept closer. Darkness waited. They posted watches. No one truly slept anymore. The night belonged to the wolves.
Meals became mechanical. Hunger no longer sparked conversation, only motion.
Even routine lost meaning.
By late winter, survival no longer looked like living. It looked like habit. Something had already ended.
When the storms weakened, no one cheered. There was nothing left to celebrate.
Relief came too late.
Spring did not arrive with life. It arrived with truth.
The valley gave them back.
Those who walked out never spoke of it again. They carried it silently. The winter of 1836-1811 did not create heroes.